Yeah.
When drawing that play up, I saw you were talking to Nicholas Barrett during the timeout about him running over and calling it. What was in that conversation?
We were discussing what play we were going to run, and he's the inbounder. So anytime you run a late game play, everybody thinks the most important person is the shooter. It's the inbounder, because there's all kinds. You can draw up any play, but everything, you don't know what's going to happen. So that guy's got to be able to read all of the options. Anytime you call a play there's 4 or 5 options, and you gotta pick one, and you gotta do it quickly. And I thought he did a good job.
Fran, is it more frustration at blowing an early 13-point lead, or sort of, I don't want to say satisfaction, or just happy to see the guys fight back from being down 13 late?
Yeah, I'd say if there was any disappointment, it was the run they made in the second half, more so than anything that happened in the first half. You know, I thought we got a lead, we got content to trade. It didn't extend it, and of course they're going to keep shooting the ball and they're going to keep moving the ball and do a really good job. We're still up. You know, we're up again in the second half, and then you know, we just weren't as active in the zone as we needed to be. You know, our closeouts were not effective enough. You know, especially when it's pretty obvious who was hitting shots. It's 2 guys. Okay, you know, one makes 9 and one makes 4. That's 13 threes between 2 guys. So you're going to close out differently to them than you are anybody else. And we just, you know, for some reason we did not ever figure out that you can't stop short. When Robert Johnson's on fire, you can't stop short. You just can't. We just kept doing it, and it was extremely frustrating.
Was some of it the rotations in the zone too?
Occasionally you're going to be a little bit late, you know, but all right, where is he?
Yeah.
Okay, where's he? You know, maybe I don't make, you know, maybe I'm not worried about McRoberts right now. Where's Johnson? You know, that was the frustrating thing, I thought.
So what happened? Obviously, you had a couple of timeouts in a short period of time to regroup. What happened to regroup? What did you guys start doing right?
Well, I think, Mike, one thing we did was we changed the lineup. You know, we had more of a defensive lineup on the floor, that one stretch. Kriener, Ahmad Wagner, Nicholas Baer. That lineup with Cook and Bohannon was probably the most effective we had. We also changed defenses. We started playing man. We went man early in the second half, you remember, and they scored quickly twice. It was not good. So we went back to the zone. We changed the zone twice. So then we went back man for that stretch run with a defensive lineup and a running lineup, and it was pretty effective. I'm very proud of that group.
You ever had a team start 10 of 10 from the floor? I mean, it seemed pretty incredible.
I don't know the answer to that.
How much do you consider using that defensive group the next
Moving
2 weeks
forward?
or long term?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing about Ahmad Wagner, he was sick, so, you know, he didn't play in the last game because he missed 2 days of practice. We started him in the Ohio State game for that reason. He got 2 quick fouls on Keita-based Diop. And I thought his mindset, his activity was really good. Unfortunately, got 2 quick ones. So, yeah, we would think about doing that moving forward.
Fran, Jordan got open there at the end a lot more. Was there anything different you guys did, or was it just him finally figuring out a way to get open?
Well, I think it was a combination of things. He got open a couple times in transition. We got some consecutive stops, finally. Okay. They were really pushing up on him most of the game, as most teams do. I thought we were doing a good job of coming out and screening for him, then moving it, and then bringing it back to him. You can't expect him to be able to come down, set one ball screen, and he's going to be open. You got to get it moving. You got to go in and out, swing it, and then screen for him, and then get him open. But I also think Tyler Cook's performance necessitated them to be a little bit more compact in their defense, and you know, by nature, you're going to be a little more open on the perimeter.
I don't think Moss played after you took him out at the
Yeah.
16-minute mark. Was there something he was doing on defense that wasn't effective enough?
Well, we had that team we just talked about was better defensively, and then I had to make a decision when I wanted to go back small, and I went with Nation.
Take one or two
Your
more.
three-point defense, I mean, it hasn't, I mean, you know the numbers
Yeah.
all season long. Why has it just not improved?
Well, you know, the problem you have today is you're in a zone, so you're going to give up some threes. Like I said, I'm disappointed that we didn't react to the two guys that were making them. But you're going to be susceptible to giving up threes. We've committed to the zone the last two games, and clearly it hasn't worked. All right, so we've got to reevaluate whether we're going to play more man, we're going to play a different kind of zone. But again, it has to do with closeouts. You know, you're closing out. This is a tough team from that standpoint because a lot of teams have standstill three-point shooters. They've got three-point shooters who are also drivers. So you close out hard, they'll rip you, and they're in the lane quickly. So there's a little bit of concern there, but you know, it depends on what game you're talking about, Mike. Sometimes we didn't rotate to the corners because we were worried about ball screen roll situations. Today we were trying to keep it out of the high post because when it got there, that's when they were scoring on the baseline, and that's when they were getting open threes, which is why everybody attacks the high post against the zone. So in the beginning and part of the second, we didn't do a good job of keeping it out of there. So that's where everything breaks down from there, because it's a long run for your wings.
So they packed it in on Tyler, but he ends up with 28 and 10, I guess.
Say that again, I'm sorry?
You said they packed it in on Tyler, but he ended up with 28 and 10. Right?
Well, they didn't pack it in all the time. You know, we try to keep them spaced as much as we could. They started really coming in the second half with the double team. And the thing about him is he's not always on the block. So you typically double team a guy on the block. Well, he catches it at the elbow. He catches it just inside the three-point line on the wing. He doesn't really care where he catches it. So, you know, if you worked on double, again, I'm not coaching Indiana, but if you're working on doubling, you typically don't double out there. And then once he gets going, then you can't double him. He's too quick and powerful. So it's almost better giving him the ball there than it is trying to post him low and inviting the double team.
Good. Thanks, Coach.
Yep.